we stopped here at what we understand to be the world's largest cuckoo clock.
And you can stay on the paved path if you want to, or get a little more rough and rugged if you'd also like that.
Okay, we got confused. We somehow took a turn that got us onto a non-paved path.
This looks like the kind of village you're looking for when you come to the Black Forest.
This is just dreamy.
But you kind of feel like you're in a fairy tale. Good morning, guys, and welcome back to our channel. I am Donnie.
And I'm Aubrey.
And we are two Americans currently living in Germany and sharing all of our experiences living and traveling throughout Europe.
So today's video is actually part 2 of our Black Forest road trip. If you want to see some other ways to spend time in the beautiful Black Forest, you can check out our first video. But today we are going to show you the beautiful Black Forest city of Freiburg.
So Freiburg sits on the southwest corner of the Black Forest and is the largest city in the Black Forest that we are seeing this weekend. So there's a lot of really cool things to see, like the medieval old town. They have a medieval cathedral that's supposed to be incredibly beautiful. And this is one of the most prestigious university cities in all of Germany.
And after Freiburg, we're gonna head back up north and stop by Gengenbach on our last stop of the Black Forest.
This has nothing to do with the Black Forest, but I feel like this is a pretty German thing to have a bottle opener built into the wall of our hotel room. So an important fact about Freiburg that we read online is that Freiburg is known to have the most beautiful weather in all of Germany, supposedly. It has the most amount of sunshine per year, but also some of the hottest temperatures throughout the year. Today we do have overcast, and it is cold, but it's the fall, so it's kind of expected, but kind of a fun fact about Freiburg, most beautiful weather in Germany.
We entered into the Freiburg Old Town through Martin's Gate, and once you pass through the gate, there's this long shopping street. And we came and walked through here a little bit last night, and it was a Saturday night, and there were a ton of people out and about. But this morning, it's a lot more quiet, mostly just families and people walking around, stopping in cafes. It's a really nice, slow morning. And now we are on our way to our first stop, the Freiburger Münster.
Okay, so never mind on the Münster. Turns out on Sundays you can't actually visit it until 1:30 in the afternoon because of course there's services going on in the morning. And we're here a little bit early, we're here around noon. So we're going to come back to that and show you it because it's supposed to be the premier tourist attraction and this beautiful thing to see here in Freiburg. But on our way to go check out the rest of the city until then, I wanted to point out something on the sides of the streets here we read online are these little channels of water called Bechtle? I'm definitely messing that up. All along the streets here, something that's unique to Freiburg from our understanding on reading is because of the warm temperatures here, they actually take some water from the rivers outside of the city and direct them into the city and into these channels. And they run along the street and it actually creates a cooling effect, almost like an old form of air conditioning for the city. There may be other uses for it, like breaking ankles for people not noticing them whenever they're walking on the streets, but there's no water running on it right now, and I think it's because it's so cold right now, there's no need for it. But a unique cool thing here in the city of Freiburg.
So something that we did read online was that Freiburg was hit pretty hard in World War II. So a lot of these buildings in the Old Town were destroyed, but then reconstructed in the 40s and 50s to look exactly like they used to look. So there's a lot of really pretty architecture here that's made to look like it used to look like back in the day. Most old German towns seem to have a lot of cobblestone streets, and that's something that we find very charming. But something that is unique about this city that we've noticed is that they have a lot of long, thin little stones all throughout the city, and there's a lot of mosaics made from these stones that are really pretty.
So the time has finally come to be able to check out the Freiburger Münster. And right as we went to come check it out, the sun finally came out, the famous Freiburg sun, which has turned into a beautiful afternoon here. So the Freiburger Münster, we read a little bit of history before we came, and we learned that the construction of this building began in the 13th century, and it was actually not destroyed during World War II, so you're seeing a lot of this original structure here. However, it was constructed out of sandstone, and so just through history, the sandstone does take a beating and a lot of wear and tear. So we are pretty lucky, we heard, because the tower is actually not under construction right now. There's no scaffolding over it. There is scaffolding over different parts of the church, but we are getting to see the full tower, which just looks spectacular. And also, I feel a little bit unique because it also looks like hollow going up to the top, and looks like a lot of just open air structure towards the top of the steeple. Going into the church, it is a pretty classic Gothic cathedral, I think. It is very ornate and extremely decorated all throughout it, not just at the altar, but also up through the aisles, and also tons of beautiful stained glass windows in multiple different styles. Inside the cathedral, there also were a ton of different figures and statues as expected, but one of my favorite things that I had not seen before was actually a life-size scene of the Last Supper. So they had the table set up, and then all of the disciples and Jesus are around the table in full life-size statues. That was really cool to be able to walk up close to and see. Going up to the altar, you can also see it is very beautifully decorated. However, if you want to go up and see it up close, there is a little section of the choir that you can walk down, but you do have to pay to get in, or at least it may just be donations to get up, which we didn't do today. You don't have to actually pay to get into the cathedral, but if you want to see the full thing, you do have to pay a little bit. Could be worth it. We don't know. But overall, the whole outside and the rest of the church you get to see is beautiful and well worth checking out. All around the Münster, also definitely worth checking out, is this big square, because there's all around beautiful, beautiful architecture and cafes to sit and just be able to take in the cathedral. You can sit here in the shadow of the cathedral and just take in some coffee and cake while you wait, and also there will be some kind of performing artist maybe that you can listen to, which makes for a perfect Sunday afternoon. But with that, after checking out this cathedral and the square, we are going to move on from Freiburg onto our next destination, Gengenbach.
We've now arrived in Gengenbach, which was just about an hour drive north of Freiburg. So all of these cities that we're coming to see, including ones from the last video, were places that we just saw online that were the top places to see in the Black Forest. So we're just doing kind of a quick run through of each city, and hopefully we'll decide which one we like the very best so we want to come back to. So we really don't know a whole lot of what there is to see in Gengenbach, but we'd heard it's just a beautiful old town to explore, so we're just going to walk around, see what we can stumble upon and find. But we have a beautiful sunny day today. It was funny, whenever we drove into the Black Forest, it was really cloudy and drizzly and kind of gloomy, but it added to the majestic feeling of the Black Forest a lot. But now it's really sunshiny and nice, almost too hot for our jackets. So we'll see how we fare walking through the city.
Yeah, so coming in yesterday in our other videos, I feel like the Black Forest had that more fairy tale kind of Hansel and Gretel, Brothers Grimm kind of feel, all dark and cold and cloudy and foggy. Today he's a lot more bright and cheery. It doesn't feel as black and dark, foresty. So it's a different feel, which I kind of like. It's a lot more cheery and bright and beautiful. But I think both of us kind of like the gloominess and like the feel of it being a little more mysterious and dark. Coming into the city, you walk right through this amazing tower and gate. Then you come down the street to this beautiful, large, open, big medieval, almost like marketplace, but there's tons of cafes all around and surprisingly really buzzing for a Sunday afternoon. Not shut down and quiet like you would expect on a Sunday in Germany, but beautiful buildings all around, people just taking in the sunshine and having a coffee and cake. A perfect place to stop and check out. Already loving this just in the first like 5 minutes of being here.
So I think Gengenbach is one of the cutest little squares we've ever seen. It just seems, everyone just seems happy. Maybe it's just because it's a sunshiny day and there's flowers everywhere. Just feel happier being here. It's really nice. So I really like this square. I'm just content. It's a good place to sit, contemplate life, you know? It's good.
So it does seem like inside of Gengenbach, whenever we walked outside of the Mark Square, that the Mark Square is kind of like the premier spot to check out and see. The rest of it kind of looks like a normal neighborhood or village. Very beautiful, but not as beautiful as the Mark Square. That is the place to hang out for sure. However, once you get outside of the city and you get out into the nature, you can see vineyards and the Black Forest and so many outdoorsy nature things to do too that I'm sure is amazing. But our goal of checking out Gengenbach and the rest of the little villages that we did in our first video and today was just to get a quick overview and brief summary of all of these different amazing places. And so we did a pretty good job of doing that, I think.
And I think my favorite of the 4 that we saw,
5, I think, yeah.
5, okay, that we saw, was Schildtach. I think that one, it just felt very magical, and it may have been that we didn't really know what to expect. It kind of surprised us and we kind of just stumbled upon everything without looking it up. That may have added to the magic of it. And you could just see the Black Forest all around it. It felt kind of smaller and quaint. But I'm wondering if we were to see Gengenbach in that kind of weather, if I'd feel the same way. Because it also feels really quaint and cute. But I think for me, Schildtach.
Yeah, I think for me, Gengenbach was also a really cool surprise. I think for me, I do like the mysterious darkness of the woods and the Black Forest when it was so cloudy and overcast and foggy. But this is nice and inviting and very happy and cheerful. I don't know. It's got a different feel to it completely just with the weather changes. Really cool day. I definitely have a few places that I want to come back. We didn't get to see cuckoo clocks as much as we wanted to.
We might get a cuckoo clock. We might get one.
We just want to make sure we get the right one if we come back. So that's something that we're definitely going to come back and try to find are legit handmade cuckoo clocks. So if you have any recommendations of places to go to for that, leave those in the description for us. But yeah, we're so glad you came along and you got to see some of this stuff with us. We hope that you got to kind of get teased of some stuff that you want to come see in the Black Forest. If you like this video, please hit that like button and also subscribe because we would love to continue showing you all of our experiences here in Germany. We'll see you in our next video.
Cheers!
Back up north in Gengenbach. Yeah.
And we're gonna love it.
And we're okay. And actually.
Okay. We entered to the hold on. We entered into the Freiburg Old Town through St. Martin. No, Martinsgate.
Really beautiful place. Ah! Wow, they're all coming.